Alright, I was going to show you guys that Baofeng radio is a little wacky, um, but maybe not completely the radio to blame, or maybe there's something wrong with this particular one. But anyway, we're picking up that one, and you'll see mine will be very strong. Mine's in the house near a window. I just noticed kind of, in general, having a hard time getting a GPS location. And then there might have been a problem with aprs.fi. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's where I'm at right now. If you look, actually, it will show some weird stuff. Like, I haven't actually driven anywhere with it, but it has me all over the place. So, not exactly accurate. And it showed me in Canada earlier, and then in Guyana, and then recently somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. Right there. It had me over here, which would be right there, whatever grid that is. 83 degrees north, 19 degrees east, the middle of the frickin' ocean. I'm not sure what's up with that. I don't know if we can look up the history. When you don't want it in the last hour, let's go in the last 24 hours. Will it allow tracking in the last 24 hours? Okay, see this? Look, I was in Canada, and then I was over here by Africa, and then I was back home, and then I went over there. It's pretty nuts. So, anyway, I don't know what to do, but I ordered a replacement radio from the same seller. That way, okay, so now once it shows up used again, we can say TID Radio Mall, or whatever the name is of the seller, sells used radios, and we can make a video about it, and we can put them out there. Maybe other hams won't buy from them. It would be okay if they sold their radios for cheaper and said this is an open box, this is a return, but it looks like it's new, but they're not doing that. And last time I brought this up with somebody on Amazon, the seller told me, we're not the ones doing it, the Amazon warehouse people are doing it. Now, the Amazon people that you get on the phone, they don't know anything, but they told me there's no way they could be doing it, that the seller must be repackaging it and sending it to the warehouse as a new product. So what I personally believe is that these certain sellers get these radios from other sellers that don't want to resell their returns, and they get them for like 50%, you know. Now they go through each one of them and they try and make sure that they look pretty good, but they're too stupid to remove the battery. Okay, screen protector, maybe that's too hard to get new pieces of plastic and put them on there. But if you're seriously in the business of selling hundreds of thousands of used radios that have been returned, you should at least remove the battery so that it looks a little more legit. The screen protector being missing and the scratch on the screen are telltale signs. Marks on the battery terminal connectors. You can usually tell when the battery's been removed and slid in and out a few times. And depending on if they rubbed it down with wiped it with rubbing alcohol, you know, you may or may not see oil or residue. Usually, if you have any concern about a radio, take it out in really bright sunlight and just examine it real closely. That's going to be your best bet. But anyway, so the other radios should show up on Father's Day. Should. Who knows? I didn't even look and see if it's been sent out yet. But now, if this one shows up used, I'm going to use it also and see if it exhibits any of the problems that I'm having with this one here, where it's really hard to get a GPS reading. Like this one here, once you get a reading, you're good. But I can't imagine driving around with it in your vehicle and having it work properly. But anyway, there might have been a problem with this aprs.fi earlier. I don't know. If you're an aprs dude and you know about this and there's a problem with the website earlier today, please leave a comment down below so that we know we're not going crazy. Okay, so I think there's some other ways we can look at other information on here too. We can see raw packets. What does this say? Why does it have my email address? I never gave him my email address. Interesting. I guess it was just auto-filling. It wasn't already there. Okay, so, but you can log into the aprs.fi. I haven't tried that, but station info, packet status, messages. What can you do with the messages? That's the other thing. It's like, hey, how can you send messages with APRS? I'm sure you can't do it with my radio, but I know certain radios can. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that you can learn about this, but I don't know. I'm just getting into it. This is the first time I've ever done it. Okay, so this is the bulletin board. Bunch of stuff on here. I guess if you're interested, you could check out the bulletin board. What other stuff they got? So we got, it gives you station information, location, show on the map, 6 miles from this, 66 miles from this, 70 miles from here. Let's see. And then it shows you the last path. 55 seconds between packets. It gives a list of call signs and things like that. I don't know. Interesting. And then you have a graph. You can see the graph. I don't know what any of that means, but anyway, what's telemetry? Weather. Okay, well, I don't have any weather on here. I did see somewhere where it showed my information and said there was a temperature. Huh. Alright, well, I don't know. And then look, now it thinks I'm all the way down here. Or I went over all the way over here. That would be in the middle of the national forest. Salida Spring. Apparently I went there. South Walker Road. Yeah, anyway. I didn't. So, now the radio in question here is this one here. Now, if you need the programming software for this radio, which you will, you'll have to go to walkietalkiesoftware.com, and that'll take you to TID Radio's website. Now, I don't know if TID Radio Mall and TID Radio are the same company. There's a lot of times somebody will change their name a little bit. Now, some of these, they said had Bluetooth, but I don't see that mine does, and I didn't see it advertised anywhere. But almost everybody in the comments on Amazon said that the APRS doesn't work. but they're wrong. It does work, and all you have to do is follow the video that I showed the other day by a guy called The Problem to Your Solution, SY1EBE, and he shows you the settings. And here is all you really need to know right here. Your call sign, target, wide 1, SSID, -1, self ID, -7 if you're mobile. You need to figure out what these IDs mean, and I don't know what the one for the house means. And then down here by the call sign, put wide 2, -1. Don't put your call sign or any of that there. Only your call sign goes up where it says self. And that's where people were getting it wrong and they couldn't figure it out and it wouldn't work. So he pointed that out. So watch his video. I'll try and put a link down below. But that's how you're going to get it to work. And this is like $30 or somewhere. 33, 32, 35. If you pay more than 35, you're paying too much. And these are readily available on Amazon and other places. Now, you might look it up and it might be called UV5RM Plus, or it might be called UV5RH Pro. There are different ones, and like the other one here, I think it shares the same battery, but it's got a different knob. I personally don't care for these knobs, and also the knob looks cast kind of funny on the other one. But anyway, that could get you into playing around with APRS for $33.